Warren Sapp, Tampa Bay Buccaneer great, NFL Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, I believe Defensive Player of the Year. Warren, welcome to Speak for Yourself. And we want to start it out kind of light and just, what's been the best thing you've watched on Netflix or Amazon Prime during the quarantine?
You know what? I've been running up and down it, but I got to give a banker a little love because that's, Anthony Mackie and Samuel L. Jackson. And that Tiger King was just something that I didn't even, understood what was going on. And then I found out it's in the middle of Tampa. I'm like, wait a minute, I know Nebraska Avenue. I know exactly where that is. But I've never been there, so maybe that's a good thing. So other than that, I ain't. But if you got any suggestion, please send me an email or anything, because the one thing I do know, I've watched a lot of movies when I'm like, I've seen that. I just ain't seen nothing I haven't seen.
All right, I'll just say this. Homeland this last season's pretty good. That's worth watching. All right, have you learned anything about yourself during this quarantine?
That I'm a lot more able to stay at home than I thought, because you know me, I like to rip and run, get my fishing on and travel and, do whatever I do and chase the kids. But the last 23 days have been pretty good with myself, other than, just not being outside, because I'm a Florida boy. I love being outside and love fishing. But other than that, been pretty good.
All right, it sounds like the thing you miss the most is probably fishing. You love to fish. What's the thing you miss the most?
Yeah. Come on, man. There's nothing like being out on the water with your bait in the water, watching your line, and there's nothing else out there but you and the fish, and you're reeling and you're going, and I love it when she bends over, and there's nothing like it. I mean, it's not, I don't know what's coming up, but boy, I'm definitely waiting on it to come up.
Well, Sapp, the biggest news this offseason, obviously, is Tom Brady joining your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think, and what did you think when you heard Brady was joining your Bucs?
It was a little crazy to me at first. I'm like, wait a minute. But, I do understand the weapons that we have, and Mike Evans and Goodwin and O.J. Howard, and, we put up 30-something points a game with Jameis. We just throw 30-something interceptions, That's the only problem when you score 30 points. You can't throw 30-something interceptions and 6 or 7 pick sixes the other way. So, I called the office to find out what was going on, and, Florida ain't been too heavy on everybody doing the same thing. So the guy I called at the office was out fishing, which I made me even madder about the situation. So, but we got him in the house, and, the place is really, really excited. And the thing I'm excited about, there will be a full house for Shaq to rush the passer, and not a lot of pick sixes going the other way.
Give you that. But at the same time, you're not getting Tom Brady at his peak powers. But how much of Tom Brady is still top-level quarterback? And do you think he still has something to prove?
I'll take a superhero in his last couple of years. That's just the game we play in. But what we have to do right now in Tampa is get him a left tackle, because Tom Brady has been sacked 500 times. And like I knew, Marcellus, this game ain't been as light as it's been his last couple of years. We used to hit the quarterback with some fury and knock him around. If Tom got 500 on that belt, and we got to make sure that backside is protected, because he can handle everything in front of him. Any good quarterback can do that.
Well, that said, since the game is getting a little friendlier out there, especially for protection
softer
at the quarterback, Tom Brady's been making mention of him playing potentially to the age of 48. You think he can do it?
I heard 45. Is it done going to 48 now? I turned 48 in December.
That's some of the reports.
Listen, I'm running from the push-up challenge right now. Ain't no way I'm out there going to get hit. Are you crazy? No. Oh, that hurts. Just even think about it. Come on, Marcellus.
Well, we in the trenches. Tom Brady not in the trenches. Come on now.
Tom Brady's on his way in. Jameis Winston is on his way out. Please, there's a mystery in football. This guy won a Heisman Trophy, #1 overall pick. What the hell was the matter with Jameis Winston? Why didn't it work out?
You know what? From what I'm hearing, it was just the one thing that all football players must do, and that's go from the blackboard to the practice field, and then from the practice field onto the game field on Sunday. And I heard reports of okay, Jameis, we're going to go play action pass. You look shallow, then you go up top, go deep. They say you go play action pass, look shallow, then he throw shallow, and then it'd be a pick. And then if he went up top, the guy was wide open. So, you know, when you go through that, and then you add up the amount of turnovers and the different stuff, I understand why the Bucs go with Tom Brady over Jameis Winston. But this young man will find another job in the National Football League and thrive in it, because the one thing I know about him, he thrives in the pocket with the ball in his hands with any shot to win. And if you give him a shot to win, he's on 9 times out of 10 come through for you. But that was just a bad year. And those some bad highlights, y'all showing. I can't talk to that, boy. I mean, look at that. Red zone, pick sixes.
Well,
that's not what a franchise quarterback do. And hopefully he's learned his lesson and find him somewhere to play the game. But, you know, when was the last time we seen 3 number 1 picks as free agents at one time?
Yeah, I want to talk about one of those.
Jameis, Cam Newton,
Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah, let's go to where you're familiar, Sapp, and let's go in the trenches with Jadeveon Clowney. Never posted double-digit sacks. Last year, only had 3 sacks playing through the sports hernia injury, and was commanding, or at least asking, for $20 million per year. What do you think the proper price is, and where Jadeveon Clowney could land as a pass rusher?
I'd be cautious with Jadeveon, because I remember when he came out of South Carolina, and I remember saying, it doesn't matter what he does in the National Football League. He'll always be a star in South Carolina, in his home state. He'll always be the guy that made that great play against that kid from Michigan and knocked his helmet off. And, you know, he was coming on in his last couple of years down in Houston, because you couldn't tell me that 9 and 9.5 sack season he had, he wasn't the best player on that defense down in Houston. Bill O'Brien made the decision to get rid of him, and now he's out on the free agent market. Somebody's going to find a place for this man to go rush the passer, because he's a talented young man, and maybe he's learned his lesson now, being that it'd be his 3rd team for a number 1 pick, that it's going to require some working numbers and some productivity from you, young man. You know, when somebody says your name out as a pass rusher, they can't say, never had a 10-sack season. But facts are facts, and they are stubborn.
Sapp, you make a hell of a point, and I think it relates to Cam Newton in a conversation we're going to have in our next segment. I think sometimes you can be too talented, and talent can actually hurt your motor. And I see Jadeveon Clowney as a guy who turns his motor on and off, whereas when you're a 6'1", 300-pound, you only have one choice if you're Warren Sapp. Your motor has to
you
run
only got one
all
choice to
the
get
time.
off the dirt road.
This guy,
get off the dirt road. Get off the dirt road. You got to work, baby. And that's something he's never done, and that's something I was really questioning when he came out. And it's the same thing with Myles Garrett. You got to put up the numbers and go out and show people you love this game that will be here 100 years after you. Stop playing with it. They will find somebody else to rush the pass and play 1st and 2nd down. I promise you they will.
Myles Garrett, you just mentioned him. What did you think about the way he handled his situation with Mason Rudolph and the whole Pittsburgh, the whole helmet deal, and then saying, hey, I got called the N-word or whatever? Your thoughts on Myles Garrett?
Voila, young man. I mean, if someone did that to you and you felt that way, we'd have all heard about it that Thursday night. I made a call to Pittsburgh locker room because I know Mike T and G and some of the guys over there pretty good. My whole thing was that was assault with a deadly weapon. That man should have been arrested that night. And I understand the NFL and it's a football field and all of that, but that was assault with a deadly weapon. You don't hit nobody with your helmet. We're not even allowed to hit them in the helmet with my helmet on, with their helmet on when they're catching the ball. You definitely not allowed to swing your helmet. No, snatch it off his head and then hit him with it. Oh, my goodness. I just to think about it, it really brings up really bad things for me. So let's just hope Myles Garrett got some counseling and some treatment or something, and we can come back from that, because no, never want to ever see that again.
One thing about you, Sapp, man, being one of your peers and obviously just respecting your game so much, is you had a secret sauce, something between your ears, something that got you going, because you not only changed the position, but you continue to have that excellence consistently year after year when people knew the double, triple team you did not matter. What was your secret sauce? Share it with the world.
A dirt road with no cable television and no air conditioning. That's where I grew up at, a little town called Plymouth, Florida. And my mom worked 3 jobs for 36 years. I was a baby of 6. And there was no way. And the game I loved, Marcellus, growing up, you watched Earl Campbell, you watched the Keith Millard, you watched the Chris Doleman, God bless his soul, Bruce Smith. I mean, you growed up one day just wishing to play on Monday Night Football. And now you headlining Monday Night Football? Oh, no, don't disrespect the game and leave it in better shape than you found it and treat it like the queen that she is and the golden goose egg that they lay. I mean, just love this game. I mean, it was nothing like playing the game in front of my mother. I was very fortunate that my mother was at a lot of my games. And when mom was in the stand, quarterbacks got to go down. In the words of the great Al Davis, in the first 10 plays, the opposing quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
Hey, Sapp, I see Bo Jackson behind you, and that's on your left side. On your right side, I thought that was that's not Otto Graham. Jim Otto.
Otto Graham. Jim Otto, the indestructible Jim Otto. My bad.
Yeah.
Raider Nation, baby.
Oh, so again, I get the Bo Jackson thing, but Jim Otto, how come, what's the story there? Why are you such a big fan of Jim Otto? No, he was a great player, but just,
University of
give us
Miami.
some details.
University of Miami.
Oh.
That's the original, baby.
Gotcha.
The indestructible one. That's the original K. That's the first one winning the Hall. He's the first one.
All right, who's the
Sapp,
greatest hurricane,
baby.
and we'll let you go.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Marcellus.
For me, the greatest hurricane of all time is Jerome Brown. I mean, you just hear the stories, and when he beat the Hogs with one shoulder on Sunday afternoon, ask Reggie White. Oh, God bless his soul, too. Reggie White told me how great Jerome Brown was, so that's why I hold him in the reverence that I held. And then people always said I played like him. And one time I met his mother, and she actually said he looks like my baby. And that just took me on a whole nother level. So Jerome is for me. Jerome is the greatest Cane of all time.
Settle this debate for me, Sapp, because in the trenches, you know how it goes, man. Everyone wants to talk about you play D-tackle, I play D-end. I don't have your accolades. I don't have your career. So when I say it, people were like, whatever, ask somebody great. I'm going to ask a great. Reggie White, rest in peace, or Bruce Smith. Who was the better DN?
Reggie White was the better defensive line because he could play all positions.
Ooh.
The best DN was 200, Mr. 200. I mean, I know Reggie White had more sacks than games at one point in his life.
Nope.
But no, the Bruce. That's a bad man.
Wow.
That's a bad man.
I would love to disagree.
Reggie White. All right. Marcellus, you play in the trenches. Who would you rather face, the left or the right tackle?
Yeah, you already know. Give me that right tackle all day.
Give me that fat guy. That's why Reggie White had to hump. He got him up the field and humped him back across. I mean, but don't say he couldn't rush the left tackle either. But I'd take the right tackle over the left tackle any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.